Hello and welcome to Nadia's Molten Imaginings. Today I am going to be painting on something I've wanted to try for a while, which is toned paper. I am going to be using my Encaustic stylus and I'm going to be doing a design which is based on this little thing I have here, which is a wooden carving which I painted, and I'm going to turn that into a Celtic mandala on this beautiful brown toned paper. Right, let's go. But first I needed to do some prep work. I have been getting very into drawing on this tablet I got recently, and I've been using Clip Studio here. And so I took a photo of my dragon wood sculpture carving, and I just lowered the opacity of that and started adding some line work on there, and then started adding some colours here, there and everywhere, and that was looking quite nice like that. Thing is, I was not happy with the colours I'd drawn on the original. The pink I wanted to make red and a few other things. Then I wanted to add a design in the centre, so I just took this from another picture and added it into the centre. My main goal on this was getting some colours that worked well together, and I was quite happy with this, and then I realised it looks so much better on the toned background. So I am going to be painting this today in my toned sketchbook. So I went ahead and printed out the design and the colour palette to copy. I then went ahead and photocopied this so that it's larger and fits the sketchbook. Added some washi tape around there and transferred the back so that I could transfer it directly to here. But first I went in with my Poscas and tried out some colours in this sketchbook to see how well they pop and worked down here. Some of the colours, of course, like these silvers and some of the darker colours didn't show up so well, so I went ahead with my Poscas because when I was working on my digital image, I'm not a digital artist, and I found that the infinite colour palette was actually a hindrance rather than a help. When you have physical colours, you only have a limited colour palette, and so I wanted to do a physical drawing of this before I went in and did my final encaustic painting, which is what I did here. And as you can see from this, I changed quite a lot of the colours up quite a bit and added this lovely white border around here, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the final piece, only in encaustic. And another really good thing about this sketchbook is nothing goes through these pages. They're really thick. So I'm going to be transferring this onto a new page and going to be painting this in encaustic. I'm concerned I might not be able to get such a lovely fine outline with the wax. That is one other reason why I'm going to be doing it in the wax, to see if I can get that as crisp and as clean over here. Right, let's go. I start off by just adding a bit more of that black coloured pencil to the back of the drawing. After I had transferred it the first time, it has more of the pigment to transfer. But before I start painting, I am going to work out my colours. As you can see from this, I am only needing 2, 3, 4 colours and white and black. The whole idea behind this colour scheme was that I wanted it to be unified, and initially what I had was not very unified at all. If we look at this, which is the original painting I did on the wood, this was yellow and green, this was blue, and this was red, and this was pink. I didn't like the pink at all. I wanted the yellow to be gold, so I turned that to gold. I wanted this blue to be darker, which I've done there, and I wanted the eye to be red as well, as you can see, a little red eye. And for this central piece, I wanted it to be a mix of the red and the blue, which I've got the red in the background and the blue on the border, and the middle is purple. The middle, very center, is of course gold, to be this seed of life in here. Now, I need to see that the waxes also go onto the paper as well as the Poscas did. So on this page here, I'm just going to do a quick little test and match, basically just colour pick the colours that I've used for this with my waxes. Right, I've got my stylus on, and I'm going to try some colours on here. Mainly, I think red. I might do this slightly darker red, see which one works. The dark red looks really nice, but I think this one will be better. Slightly more vibrant. For the blue, probably this. Have a lighter blue, something lighter. That kind of looks better on the brown. That'll add between them. And then a yellow, no, sorry, gold. Which, like the Poscas, doesn't really show up too well. So that's fine, because it's just a pop in amongst. And the other colour is purple, which I definitely need to sort. This is a purple. Very dark. And I've also got this light lilac mix. This doesn't show up very well. Or this. Honestly, it's closer. I don't know. I think it's gonna have to be a mixture of these. Right, and there we have a basic color theory. Red and blue make purple, and gold is opposite purple on the color wheel. So we've got a complement there and a complement there and a contrast there, and that makes a very nice little color palette going on, which is really nice. I'm not sure whether I'm doing black lines, but actually they look really good. After a couple more tests, I think I'm going to use the black wax as the line work. I wasn't going to, but it's coming out really fine, so I think I probably will. And the white, I'm going to have to try and use the cleanest part of the white that I can find. Right, let's go and do some painting. So I have to start with the colours, and once I've got all the colours flatted in, then I can go in with the line work, and I will do that black, and then I will do that white outline at the end. I'm starting off with the red on the top of the dragon's head, and I'm doing this first bit in real time just to show how long this process is probably going to be taking me. As you can see though, the red is going down so beautifully and brightly on this brown paper. The stylus sucks up the wax and only holds a certain amount of wax, therefore I keep having to refill it and reapply it just like you would a dip pen, and this process, although very mindful and meditative, would take a long time if I showed you all this in real time. Let's go into a time lapse. There was one part of the design which wasn't very well defined. This was on the original wood carving as well, and I probably should have drawn it out better in the digital illustration before I transferred it, but I just went back and filled it in with pencil here. Drawing knotwork isn't really as hard as it seems. It's just a matter of making sure that all the lines go over, under continuously through the whole design. If Encaustic painting is something you want to try out for yourself, you can check out my link to my course, which I'll be running locally in the first week of February, I think the 6th of February and 7th. I've got 2 days, so I will be doing some stylus work in the course, but mainly iron painting, and that will be a really good sort of introduction to the whole encaustic process. And so if you want to learn how to draw with wax, you can check that out, link in the description. So I got to this point and I realised I should not be painting with my blocks on the piece of paper. I made a bit of a mess, and since it's wax, it's left a rather annoying sheen. I tried to fix it by putting the iron over it and under and wiping some of the wax away. Kind of made a bit of a mess of this as well. I'm hoping the line work is gonna save it and I can rub most of this off. Oh, that was not good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the line work with the black first and then the white, and I'll need to blend this a wee bit more as well. I've left bigger gaps for the line work than I did on my previous picture so that I'm not going over it like I was, and it'll hopefully not mix the wax and make a mess. Trying to keep this nice and clean. Right, let's see if I can tidy this up. What a huge difference that black line work makes immediately. You can tell just looking at the two sides of the dragon that it is immediately darker, more vibrant, and so much crisper and cleaner. Unfortunately, the black tends to be one of the only encaustic colours that slightly clogs the nib of the stylus. I don't know if this is because it's slightly ink-like and just a little bit thicker, but it did take me a good deal longer doing this line work, but it was definitely worth the effort. I went back in with the gold and tidied up some of the dragon's mane as well as some of the other colour areas. When I was doing the Posca drawing, I was at this stage and I just done the black line work. And I thought this is looking very finished, I don't need to add any more. But then I went in with the white and it really brings it all together. And that, as you will see, was the finishing touch. Here comes a freehand circle, which I tried my best with, but I should have probably used some sort of compass, but I didn't really know how to go about that. Especially between using black and white, always remember to clean the stylus with a block of clear wax, wiping off the excess on a tissue. There, that looks so much cleaner now. What a difference that white outline makes. It is just bringing everything together and making it all stand out so cleanly on the toned paper. I'm outlining each individual line of the knotwork, but just the outer edge of the dragon's head. This makes the knotwork look like lines of force or energy connecting and joining this circle of life. The earth dragon surrounding the seed of life in the center is this beautiful Celtic symbolism which creates the mandala in the center. So here we have the first iteration, the second iteration, and the final piece which I worked up towards, which has a lot more depth, interest, and I think texture, which is the main attribute of encaustic wax. Did it go through the paper? Yes, slightly. That was mainly just where I was trying to fix the mistake, and honestly, I'm really happy that it didn't go through as much as I thought it might in places, because the wax mainly sits on top, although some is absorbed into the paper. But overall, I must admit, this illustrative style is something I love to do and may well be doing some more of in the future. So let me know if you like this piece. It is basically the same piece. I think the main reason why the colours on this one are lighter is because it didn't absorb too much into the paper. The wax absorbing meant it darkened slightly. I think that perhaps is the main factor there. I actually think I like it better darker, and just overall it kind of grounds it a bit better. Anyway, please let me know if you like this style in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!